Happy New Year! Why do I always do weird stuff with my hands? If not, though, isn't it even weirder there? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Laura, ding, at Laura Writes, forever in her pajamas because why not, you guys? Who am I here to impress? You. You love me as I am, right? Right? Anyway, hi, if you're new here, I'm Laura and I write young adult horror and I am pursuing traditional publishing. Hopefully this year I will be querying to see an agent. To see an agent? I don't want to query to see an agent. I want to query to get an agent. Why am I always saying things like wrong? What is wrong with me? I will hopefully be querying this year. I really hope so. So if you're not already subscribed and you want to see that journey, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But you guys, okay, we just need to have like a little bit, like I can't stop smiling. Oh my god. Okay, so it's Friday, beginning of this weekend vlog. As you guys know, I vlog on the weekends. And it's Friday, January 1st. Happy New Year. And yeah, I'm just now starting to film. It's like after 8 p.m. I don't typically film even on Friday nights that much anyway. I did have the day off, so I thought about it, but honestly, I just chilled today. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna like be low key, and I've basically been reading the craft book, which I meant to grab to remind you guys, but I'll show it in another clip. What is it, like the magical words? It's down in the description. Writing magical words, the magical words. Cheryl Klein, I think. But anyway, it's about writing young adult and middle grade. And I think she's going to talk about some chapter books too. I haven't gotten to that part of the book, but I think she said she was going to talk about chapter books as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you look down in the description for all the information on our book club meeting. And January 10th, we're going to be talking about it live. Okay, but we'll get back to that later. So that's what I've been doing all day, is basically just reading that and going on and off between reading that and just like watching YouTube, TikTok, just chilling. It's my day off. But then the clouds parted. Actually, what happened was I was reading the craft book, and I find that every time I write a craft book, even if it's not new information, causing myself to sit and just think about the craft of writing always helps me have revelations. So now, as you guys know, I've been working on my young adult horror, Beware of Monsters, and I have constantly struggled, and I've been making headway with the stakes. And now that it's a horror, it makes the stakes a little different. It has to be intertwined a little bit differently. And I had the stakes, I had everything. Like last week I kind of like ironed some things out. But I'll admit that, like, as you guys know, I wasn't like super confident. But I was like, okay, like these work. It is what it is. It's a little convoluted, it's a little nebulous, but it's good. And I felt really good about it. But then I was reading the craft book today, and it's not like she said anything revelatory necessarily, but she was an editor, I don't know if she still is, for Scholastic, and was talking about what's a sellable idea, or what she calls like a sellable premise, I think, or something, and then like what would cause her to pause and maybe not buy a book from someone. And then I was like, it's like listed, which was okay. I highly recommend this book so far, you guys. Again, like I don't think it's reinventing the wheel. I don't think it's like a save the cat type of thing where it's like teaching you how to like formulaically do something, but instead it's like really just, okay, I don't want to give away too much because I'm gonna do a review of it and we're gonna talk about it, but I'm liking it so far. So anyway, in this, I realized that my stakes and my sort of like premise was kind of falling under the section where she was describing ones that she would maybe not purchase, and like things that would have her, cause her to pause on a book. And I was like, oh, my book is doing that. And I kind of knew that it was, but like seeing it there, like, so I was like, okay, I gotta fix it, right? Like, I gotta fix it. So I started thinking about everything I've read, everything, and my love of horror movies. You guys know I'm obsessed with horror movies. And I started thinking about horror movies. Okay, like, well, how, in the horror books I've been reading lately, how do they do this? And I realized that some of the books don't, which she said some of them wouldn't. Doesn't mean those books can't be published. But I realized that all the ones that were kind of leaning the way I was in like what they were kind of doing wrong, those were all books I didn't like as much. And all the ones that were doing the right stuff that she was recommending, and that I wasn't feeling like my book was doing, were all the ones I loved more. So I was like, oh my god, I gotta fix this. This is like solidifying it. Sorry I'm talking a lot, but I'm like so excited. And also we're about to go make some dessert, so I'm trying to like get it all in there, but I'm also like so excited. But anyway, okay, so I was like, oh my god, this, like, I have to fix it. So like, how have other movies and books done this? So I started thinking about all the movies I've watched recently, like all the horror movies, and then also we did, you know, 25 Days of Christmas, all the Christmas movies. And I try to think about like how they're setting things up, their external plot and internal, and then also what their stakes are. And it just hit me how I took like an old idea that I didn't think was working, that I didn't think would work as it is, and my new idea that wasn't quite working, that isn't quite working as it is, and I just pushed them together, just made them kiss, and it works. Like fireworks, light bulbs, all the things you want to say. I immediately like told Aaron, he was listening to his book, his audiobook. I told him to stop. I said it to him. He's like, yes, 100%. That's it. That's right there. It was kind of similar to something he had told me to do. So again, Aaron's always right. Anyway, so I was like, oh my god, but I kind of like tweaked it a little bit and it worked perfectly. And I just like was like, oh my god, it's like so perfect. So then I got a piece of paper and I just started writing. And I basically just wrote out the entire premise of my book. I wrote like a log line. I wrote like whatever, like it works, you guys. It works, and it solves the problem, and now I can take my idea and safely move it into the area where she said this is a sellable, like, premise. So I'm so excited. I feel like all of this, like, I feel like something has been lifted off of me, you guys, because I love my story. I love my idea, but I knew that the stakes were not concrete enough. They were a little too nebulous. They were a little too convoluted. Like, I tweaked it and it's perfect, and I can explain it so easily, and it's gonna be so easy to write, and all, like, it gave me, like, you know, I have some ideas for scenes. All the other ones just started like popping up, and I have like all the reasons, and I know they're all gonna hit the third rail, and I'm just like, I've never been more excited to work on my book than I am right now. Of all the times I've been excited, of all the times you've seen this excited face, I'm telling you now, I have never been this excited to work on my book. Because I feel like at this point, although who knows in the life of a writer, if some nagging doubt will come later. But right now, right this very second, so I want to document it for you and for me in the future, right this very second, I have no doubts about my book, about the premise, about decisions I've made, what's going on. I mean, in terms of doubt of like, will it be published? Will it give me age? I mean, I don't know. That's out of my hands. But any little, you know, doubt that I had about any aspect of the premise, of the plot, of the structure, of the internal, of the external, of the stakes, like the setup, any of that stuff, all the stuff that I was having some lingering doubt about choices, they're all gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're all gone. I've had many revelations recently in the last few months about this book, and I think this was the final piece, the final puzzle, the final, and I can't wait to start working on it, you guys. I'm so excited, and now I feel so much more confident that I'm gonna be able to get through this quickly, because there's not like a dragging of the feet, right? Of like, you know what I mean, right? Don't you? Like, when you're just like a little hesitant, and so you feel like you're not like super excited, like jazzed, like want to do it every second, because you just know deep down, like, it's still missing something. And yeah, I don't feel it anymore, so I'm so excited. And I would go over, I mean, I literally just like wrote it all down on paper, and I just like kind of wanted to get it all out before I forgot. But we are now gonna go make some puppy chow, because we have been meaning to make it all day. We got this out, we wanted to do it for New Year's Day, and now it's 8 o'clock, we still haven't done it. And my father-in-law, as you guys know, who lives with us, he kept saying like, hey, y'all gonna make that? Hey, y'all gonna make that? So we're gonna go make it. So I'm gonna go make some puppy chow, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna work on my freaking book, and I'm gonna be so freaking excited. This is me excited. It's kind of scary, isn't it? All right, I'll be back. Morning. It is a Saturday morning, January 2nd. I almost said July 2nd. Awkward. No. January 2nd. And last time I updated you, I was like super jazzed about my book. Still am, still loving it. But I basically ate something. We made puppy chow and I ate it. Probably too much. And then I spent the rest of the evening basically just reading the magic words. And yeah, and then like, of course, like watching YouTube and TikTok and, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I didn't work on any more writing of the book aspect other than like I said, all the stuff I wrote down of my ideas yesterday. So like this I have to get done by, gosh, did I just lose my spot? Come on, Laura, use an actual bookmark, girl. I have to have this done by next weekend because our book club talk is going to be next Sunday, the 10th at 3 p.m. Eastern time here on this channel. If you want to see us discuss this, it is The Magic Words, Writing Great Books for Children and Young Adults by Cheryl Klein. And it's going to be me and Kevin and Alexa Dunn and Lindsay Puckett. So I have to get this done by then. So I'm prioritizing reading. I basically like have to read 50 pages a day because I like to get it done a few days before the talk so that I can kind of like get some notes, get some thoughts on it, kind of think about what I want to bring up in the live stream, that kind of stuff. So in order to finish it with enough time, I need to read 50 pages a day until I'm done. It is kind of a lengthy book. It's like 400 pages, and it's like big pages. So, it's really good though, like so far, I'm really liking it. I mean, I'm still pretty early on in it. But anyway, so I'm not gonna do any more writing until I hit my 50 pages for the day in this. So this is kind of what my day is looking like. It's gonna be reading 50 pages of this. Then I'm gonna work on some of my, cards. I do need to make a couple of adjustments now based on my revelation yesterday, but not big ones. It's more so the setup, not the setup section of a little confusing, the setup section of Save the Cat Beats, but the setup prior to the book I've made just a couple tweaks to what I'd already come up with that's going to make it more solid, and then also it raises the stakes, but that's stuff that I hadn't even plotted out anyway, so it's not affecting any of that. But I am going to make the couple of adjustments to the beginning, and then I want to try to get as much of the first act cards completed, because now I feel really, really crystal clear about the trajectory of the book now that I know I have much clearer stakes. I think it's gonna make it easier to fill out those cards. So that's like the aim for today, is to read 50 pages of this and then start filling out cards. And then also in leisure reading, I'm gonna start reading Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. This is like horror-esque. Like, I definitely don't think it, from what I understand, is like horror in vibe necessarily, but it is dealing with like a haunting, like ghosts, and related to trauma. So this is why I'm prioritizing this, because my book in particular is also dealing, I've realized now that, like, I guess the best way to describe Beware of Monsters is like a psychological horror. And so this is a psychological horror as well. And it's also supposed to be really beautiful. Also, like, look how beautiful that cover is. And I love that they even like included it in the main book, so if you wanted to take the jacket off, you can still get that beautiful cover. I've noticed that a trend right now in horror is like these vintage looking flowers. So you have this on Watch Over Me. Horrid has the flowers like on the eyes, and then there's another one coming out, starts with an H that I can't remember now, but that one also has vintage looking flowers on the cover. So I think that that's like, I wonder if it's the same artist. I should look. I'm kind of like paying attention to more now that I feel like I'm getting closer to getting into publishing. Who knows if I'm actually getting closer, but I'm trying to pay more attention to things like cover artists, editors, publishing houses, things like that. And so I'm curious if it's the same author, or not the same author, the same artist. But either way, it's a trend. I really like it. And I was like, oh, maybe I could hop on that train. First of all, my book would not be coming out, even if it ever did, which is like a long shot of a long shot of a long shot. It would be years from now. Plus, I don't think flowers would work for my book. Cornfields, maybe. Which I do have Burn Our Bodies Down, which has corn stalks on the front, but it's out of reach. So anyway, that's the plan for today. So 50 pages of this, filling out, let's set a goal for the day. I would like to get I'd like to get 3, let's go 2, just because I don't know how long they're gonna take me. I think they're gonna go quick, but let's just go for 2 scene cards filled out for today. they're already partially filled out, and then I'd like to start reading this. So that's the plan for today. Erin is currently out picking us up some Panda Express for lunch, so that's exciting. Also, I wish I had a can near me, but I don't, and I have this camera set up in a weird way that I can't move it or it's just gonna like all implode. But I have gotten something, you guys. As you know, I've been trying to play around with coffee and using coffee for energy now that I'm old and I need it. And not always going to my trusty Diet Pepsi, because the caffeine in this does not do it for me. It's like non-existent to me basically at this point. But I've been trying coffee, and like coffee's okay, it's great, it's whatever. But I love espresso, you guys. And I don't have a Starbucks or any coffee shop within 40 minutes of where I live. And I don't have the money for an espresso machine, although I'm hearing that Nespresso are decently priced, and I think they're similar, but I'm not fancy. I don't have a lot of money, so I can't get an espresso machine. So anyway, we have discovered that at the grocery store, the only grocery store that will do a pickup, and it's 40 minutes away, does sell the Starbucks double shot espresso cans, and I've been having one of those in the morning, you guys, Erin and I both, and they have completely changed the game for us. So we got, it is Starbucks double shot, and the flavor is espresso and cream. So good, you guys. I could drink like 3 of them. I only drink 1, which is like 2 shots of espresso. Although when I go to Starbucks, I do get a venti ice flat white with soy, which is 4 shots, so I could technically have 2, but they're just kind of expensive to do that every day. So I've just been drinking 1 can. We also just got the light. There's a light version that's like less sugar, less calories. So I'm gonna try that one, see if that's a better substitute for the one that we have. And it also is like skim milk instead of full fat milk. So we'll see. I'll let you know. I'm sure you care. And they do sell them on Amazon too. So if we can't keep getting them from the store, Amazon sells the same price, but it's a slightly bigger case. So maybe we might do that. But anyway, it's changed the game for me. Totally waking me up. Gives me energy. I feel so much like more energetic and like ready to go for the day. It's like espresso is for me. So yeah, I get it now. I get it. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I just want to update you guys. I'm going to try to get in some reading before Erin gets back with lunch, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Hey guys, just here to do a quick little drop-in, check-in, whatever. It is now 8:53, and I just got done reading my 50 pages in The Magic Words, which I found out, interestingly enough, Kevin, my brother Kevin, his boyfriend Damien, he has a master's in writing books for young adult and children, and like specifically that's the degree, and this was their main textbook. Like this was required reading, and I can 100% see why. So don't want to give away too many spoilers what I think about it, but make sure you watch either the live stream this Sunday, I don't know when this is going to go up, so Sunday the 10th, or watch the replay if you miss it. So anyway, it took me a long time. I don't remember what time it was the last time I updated you, but I said I wanted to get that done first before I started working on any other projects. It took me a long time because I took several breaks for stuff, like I stopped to eat lunch, you know, Erin went and got Panda, so we ate that. I read some, then I had to stop to do a little bit of housekeeping stuff. I needed to pick the choice, I needed to get it ordered with enough time. I like to have the book for the announcement video that I record, and so and I wanted to kind of know all the specifics. I'm going to be announcing that next week, since the live stream is this like a week from tomorrow, so I need to get that filmed next week. So anyway, I was following up with some people. I was looking into a couple of book choices we were considering, and then I was talking to Kevin and a few other people, and kind of solidified the choice we're going to have. The date sort of is solidified, most likely, and we are gonna have another 2 co-hosts again. So this time in January we're having Lindsay Puckett and Alexa Dunn, and then this one will be in March, and we're gonna have 2 new AuthorTubers, not new AuthorTubers, but like new people, not Alexa and Lindsay, but 2 different AuthorTubers as co-hosts for the one in March. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna order that book today so I can get that film, that video film, jeez. So I did do that, and then Erin and I took a while to talk about some of our personal business stuff with Erin's business, and so that took up a little bit of time, and then I got back to reading. And so now I'm just not finished. And yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe eat a little bit of a dinner. It's like 9 p.m. I'm just not really that hungry. I had a lot of food for lunch, late lunch from Panda. So I don't know, I might eat something a little bit. But I'm now going to pivot to trying to get at least 2 scene cards filled in. At the very least. I do still want to start reading Watch Over Me tonight, but I'll probably do that like when I'm getting ready to go to bed, because Aaron and I are kind of, you know, we were on like a lot of kicks. Like we were watching the heck out of Buffy for months, and we were watching Chicago Fire for months, and then we watched Vampire Diaries for months, and then we had October, so we watched a horror movie every day, or Halloween movie every day of October, and then November was Nano. That took up a lot of my time, and then December we watched a Christmas movie every day for the first 25 days, so we're kind of like maxed out on watching stuff. So Aaron has some audiobooks he's been listening to, Wheel of Time, so he's just been kind of doing that, and it's been giving me time to do some more reading and working on my book and stuff. So yeah, so we're just kind of pooped out on watching stuff, plus there's not like a lot of stuff coming out right now. Yeah, no. So yeah, so I think I'll maybe start reading that when it's time to go to bed. But for now, I also gotta do, I have a vlog actually going up tomorrow on Sunday, which is kind of a weird day for me, but my days got a little off. So anyway, I need to do some of the back end stuff on that on YouTube. So I'm gonna do that, and also work on getting at least 2 scene cards before I do anything else. So I'm gonna do that now, and then I will get back up with you, let you know, okay, once I've completed those things, what time is it, what am I doing, when am I gonna move forward, how's that going, etc., etc. You get the drill, so I'll be back later. Hey guys, my final check-in for Saturday night. It is now 2 a.m. and I am so tired. I'm gonna finish a couple of things here. That sounded like a fake yawn, didn't it? It was not fake though, I promise. I gotta do a couple things. I have a vlog going up tomorrow, like I told you guys, so I just have to upload the thumbnail and put the end cards in now that it's like uploaded, because we had to do some last minute editing to it because we had already had it uploaded, but then I realized something needed to be edited out because I, in retrospect, realized I kind of revealed something about my story that I didn't want in there, so we had to go back and cut it out. So anyway, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna crawl into bed and read a little bit of that book I said. Sorry, the Nina LaCour book. I'm gonna start that a little bit. I don't know how long I'll last, obviously, but I'm gonna try to get a few pages in at least before bed. I did want to also notice that in looking at this vlog, which is from last weekend, so Christmas weekend, I'm wearing the same pajamas. I just want to assure you all that during the week, these pajamas were washed and then put back on Friday. So rest assured, people, I am not wearing the same pajamas for more than 2 to 3 days at a time. Okay, so yeah, and I'll probably change tomorrow because I think I'm gonna film some videos tomorrow. I think, yeah. So I'm not really sure what's on the docket for tomorrow. Oh, let me tell you what I got done tonight first. So I'm doing really good on the progress. I realized I want to do a little bit of a prologue, or at least I'm gonna play around with the idea of a prologue. So I did like write it on a scene card, but I don't have like it all filled out. I still need to think on it a little bit, but I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a prologue. If you've read horror books, sometimes they'll do that to like set up something that affects later. Clown in a Cornfield did that. That's the first one I can think of off the top of my head. So that's a tentative prologue. But I did I redid scene cards since I had, you know, had my epiphany, if you will, last night. That was last night, right? Or was it earlier today? Last night? It was last night. Okay. So I got the whole scene card for scene 1 done. the whole scene card for scene 2 done, the whole scene card for scene 3 done, and then partially done for scene 4. So where I'm at with scene 4 is I have like what happens, but the other boxes are like, okay, what are the consequences? And I don't really quite know what the other half of the scene is going to be. And then so then I can't really answer why this matters yet, like how it affects the third rail or how it affects the internal journey, and then I don't know what realization she comes to or any of that yet. So I need to think on it because I know I want to have this scene. It's a scene that takes place at her parents' business, and I need to just kind of think about why. Why do I want this in there? Because I had to come up with some setup scenes and I wanted to show her old world, right? So like I felt like it was important because this was like it's a huge part of her, or it was a huge part of her parents' life and her life prior to being away. And so I kind of want to establish old world her, but I still need something to happen in the scene that's relevant to new world her. And I'm trying to be repetitive with that. So I realized that at first I had to go back and erase a lot of my stuff. I redid those scene cards several times because I think I was just trying, I was being too, like, not vague, but I was being too like general. Be like, and then she realizes, and it's like the thing that the whole book is about. I was like, okay, I need to reel it back in, and it needs to be like step by step by step. So I need to think on it, and so I'm gonna leave it there. But I'm ahead of what I wanted because I wanted to get at least 2 scene cards done. I got 3.5 plus figured out I'm gonna do a prologue and have some notes on the prologue. So I am feeling very, very good about the progress I made today, you guys. As I told you guys, I think in an earlier clip, that I've realized that a lot of my inability to get things done, I think, has to do with my concentration issues and related that I think to ADHD. So I told you guys I need to get up with my doctor to get a reassessment for that because this is something that my doctor suspected previously, but I wasn't convinced, and now I kind of am, but that's a whole other story. So what I have been doing though in the meantime is researching things that I can do outside of medication that can help me with some of my concentration issues, and they have been working. So I'm very excited about that because I feel like I made a lot of progress. I've gotten some tips and tricks of things I need to do that will help me be able to concentrate more and sit down and actually work on things that are anxiety inducing to me. And I feel really, it also helps that I had my big revelation. So I feel really good about the progress that I'm making, and I'm realizing that like it's not that easy to fill out the bottom half of these cards because I gotta kind of think on it. So I'm just gonna continue tomorrow to start filling these out, and I don't really know how many I want to get done. And that's what I was talking about just a second ago, is in terms of what I'm getting done tomorrow. I know I need to get my 50 pages read. I know I want to work on some of these scene cards. I think I'm gonna film a few videos, but Aaron and I also have some house stuff to do. We have to clean out the fridge and clean some pots that we've been avoiding for a couple of days that we used for some New Year's desserts and stuff. So I need to do that as well. And I think that's it in terms of like what I need to do. So I'm not sure how long things will take me or how I'm feeling or what's going on. So I will update you tomorrow when I'm ready to jump back into things. But for now, I'm gonna go snuggle up with a good book and bid you adieu, and I'll see you in the morning. Okay, bye. Hello everybody, it is now Sunday. It's like 5 p.m. I should have started this vlog earlier, but you know, insert excuse here. I told you guys I had a lot to do in the earlier part of the day, which was true, but I got all of it done. I read my next 50 pages in the book club book. So I'm making good headway on that. I'm about halfway through the book now. And then I cleaned out my refrigerator and helped clean up some other stuff in the kitchen and in the bedroom. So we did some necessary adulting. And yeah, I've had a pretty good productive, I got up around like 10:30-ish, you know, I've had a lunch and everything. So I am ready to go on getting other work done for the day. So we last left off, I had refilled out new the first 3 cards in Act 1, and so now my goal for this evening is to finish up. I had partially done 4. I'm still like thinking about that one, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna answer that. So that's gonna take some awkward staring into the distance trying to think. But I would like to get through the setup at the very least, and then to the catalyst, because the catalyst scene I already have filled out. Now remember I said I went back and forth between whether or not it was the catalyst or the theme stated, and I had last filled it out according to theme stated, and so I am gonna make so even though it's like filled out, I'm basically just gonna have to redo it, but I know the gist. So ideally I'd like to get through catalyst by the end of tonight. I'm feeling really good about the progress that I have been able to make. I feel like the last 3 weeks I've been like, yeah, hopefully, like, you know, I'll get done with this by this time, and next time you see me, and then there's like very little progress. But I actually feel like I finally, as my dad would write on Facebook, finally know the stakes, the trajectory, the motivation, the back up stuff. Like, I've gotten all the stuff figured out, nothing left to figure out. So now it's just like, okay, really outlining, or essentially zero drafting the rest of the book. So this is my first time doing what I would consider a zero draft, where I'm just like telling myself the story by filling out these scene cards. But I'm gonna consider this more than outlining. I'm actually gonna start considering this zero drafting, because I am essentially writing out all of the scenes, just not like necessarily in action always, some of it's summary, but I am figuring out every single scene of the book. I think for me, the difference between outlining and zero drafting is outline is kind of what I do before I start doing the zero draft part, where I kind of just like write the headings of each scene. Like this one's like at home in her bedroom, at her parents' business, in the car on the way to this place. You know what I mean? Like that to me is more of an outline of like where are the scenes, and kind of like what it comes next in terms of just like naming it. But then now filling in all these scene cards and writing on the back any like particular description of like things being said, feelings being felt, actions happening, anything I can think of for the scene. I'm filling that out. It's taking me a lot longer to do, like sometimes hours for just one. To me, that is zero drafting. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on my zero draft of a revision of my old contemporary, now YA horror. So we're gonna call it a fresh slate, because so much has changed, you guys. Like the nebulous premise is the same, but it is so fun. I can't wait till someday I'm gonna do that video where I walk you through each of the different versions and how so fundamentally the book has changed. Like, it's wild, you guys. It's really wild. Someday I'll do that. But anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of call it a clean slate, that this is not version 4 or 7 or whatever of Beware of Monsters. This is zero draft version, you know, first version of the YA horror Beware of Monsters, which I have become so attached to that title. I hope it stays if I ever get it published, but I know that's very slim to none. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I need to work on those cards, and like I said, I want to try to get at least through the catalyst, which would be 7, and I'm on 4. So I would like to try to do a minimum of getting through 6, but ideally it would be through 7. I feel so old and white. Thumbs up. So lame. So yeah, I felt like there was something else. Oh, I did want to tell you guys too that before bed I read, let's see, what page did I get on? Page 31 of Watch Over Me. It is a very quiet, slow read, but like you don't feel like it's moving slow. Like the actions in the book are slow, but like it doesn't feel slow. It feels actually very quick. Also because it's like a book for ants. Like it's very tiny, you guys. Like I don't think you understand. Like let me give you Story Genius just because it happens to be right here. Like for a hardcover, like this is actually smaller. It's like thinner and shorter. I don't know, maybe this is a bad one to compare it to, but it is also not, even though it has ghosts, there's like there's a whole other video too, like what makes horror. And I think Books and Lala said that like horror is a feeling rather than the genre. So it's like horror is a type of thriller, I guess. maybe that's what she was going for. She didn't say that. She just said horror is a feeling, which I think is good because just because there's ghosts in it doesn't mean you feel horror, right? The ghosts in this are much more lyrical, romantic, soft, so far anyway. So it would fall under more of like a paranormal or supernatural type of book, but because we're trying to like fit it into a publishable, marketable category, I would say it's more of a contemporary fantasy because it's real world but then has fantastical elements to it. Don't want to call it magical realism because first of all, I think that has a, well, the first and foremost, the number one is because it is very rooted in Latinx, especially South American specifically, culture and literary tradition. So it should be assigned to that and left for those kinds of books. But other than that, aside from that, it also shouldn't be called magical realism because though technical definitions could maybe fall into it, magical realism is usually something like, how can I explain this? I know what I'm thinking, like as like a teacher and academic, but like basically it's like one of those things like you just know what it's not that, but it's like something that is so crazy out of the ordinary. And I wouldn't say the ghosts are out of the ordinary. So like, for example, Gabriel Garcia Marquez's A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings, right? It's just about a man with wings. He's not an angel. Well, they don't really know. That's kind of the thing of the story. But like, he doesn't have angel proper. Like, we're not like dealing with him as an angel like we would deal with these ghosts as ghosts. So magical realism, or like, you know, where it's like things like that. Like, oh, a person just suddenly becomes a squirrel, or I don't know, maybe that's a terrible example, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? Ghosts, I would not say would even fall into that category, even if it was appropriate to reuse that phrasing. So I would think more contemporary fantasy as something that has like a supernatural element, but does not invoke horror, the feeling. So maybe that's helpful, I don't know. Comment down below if that was helpful, or if you have a better way of articulating that. So anyway, I'm liking it though because I do like the ways in which it is dealing with trauma in terms of ghosts, because that is actually my number one sort of like way I think about my own book. Beware of Monsters is a psychological horror and is dealing ultimately with trauma, and I would imagine that most of my books will, because that was my academic interest and I kind of understand how those things work in fiction because that's what I was studying in terms of metaphorical and, you know, analogies and, you know, things like that. So long story short, enjoying it so far. A little too early to tell how much. Love the cover though, just obsessed with looking at it. But I will read more of that tonight when I go to bed. But for now, to the book that I'm writing. Zero drafting. Whatever, I'm gonna do it. Hey guys, just doing a quick check-in. It is 7:21. We are about to get dinner here, and I think we have some stuff left to make some peanut butter cookies with chocolate chips. I think we have everything. So I'm gonna go in the kitchen and get some dinner, see if we have that, and maybe make some cookies. It's the end of the holiday weekend, so we have to get it in. Okay. Gross. Before, you know, the official beginning of the year and doing better with not having so many desserts kind of thing happens. So yeah, so I want to use the what's left over of some of our other treat stuff. So just as an update, when I last updated you, I said I had, so what I actually had was, okay, let me just get them out because I think that'll be easier to explain. So what I had before is I wrote down notes for the prologue. It's really just like a scene, so I just have the notes on the back. I don't know, well, I will put the notes on the back. I thought I had already on last time. So what I had before was I had scene 1, the opening image, scene 2, the theme stated, and then I think I had scene 3, yeah, scene 3, which is the first of the setup finish, and then I had just a few parts of scene 4. That was what I got done yesterday. So what I finished today, or not today because I'm gonna work on it more, but as of right now with this check-in, I finished the rest of scene 4, which is setup 2, and the rest of scene 5. And then now I'm working on where is it? Scene 6, So I completed, let's basically see, I did, let's see, so many pieces of paper. This is how my chaotic brain works, okay. So scene 5 I did, and the other half of scene 4, and then a half of scene 6. So I've done the equivalent of 2 scene cards that I've gotten filled out. So this is really good progress, you guys. But I realized that to get to scene 9 was actually maybe a little lofty, but I don't know. I'm kind of going at a good pace because I still got to finish now scene 6, and then 7 and 8, which are the last 2 setup scenes. But you know, I have a pretty good idea what happens in them, so I might be able to get that done fast. We'll see after dinner and cookies. And then I'd like to finish up to 9, the catalyst, tonight. So we'll see. It's a little lofty, but definitely doable. But for now, we're gonna eat and bake, and then we'll be back. To do my final check-in for the night. My apologies for looking even rougher than usual, and my fan is on across the room. I know you can probably hear it in the background, but y'all, I'm just so lazy right now. I really don't want to go get up. I should, I know, like, it's 2021, girl, stop being so lazy, but I just don't feel like it, so sorry. But I want to give you my final check-in. It is 9:52, you guys, and I'm shook to my core, okay? My core, the one that's deep, deep somewhere in there. My core is shook because I have somehow managed, I know, Falx, to successfully complete a goal that I set. The first goal that I've set is in terms of writing for 2021. I have already failed some social media goals I wanted to do already in 2021, but as far as writing, okay, so let's just recap what I got done this weekend. I finished the scene cards of not 1, not 2, not even 3, girl. 10, okay? 10. This is 9, but that's because I have a prologue. And the prologue is 1, and then, you know, you add that to the 9. I did it, you guys. I filled out all of the cards, including stuff on the back of all the specifics of the scenes for the prologue, the opening image, the theme stated, the 6 setup scenes, and the catalyst scene. So that is what I wanted to get done tonight. So I'm gonna call that a win for the night, for the weekend, for life, for the book, for the love of the craft of writing. So I'm just being weird because I feel so like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know how to, like, act. Like, do I look different? No, actually, girl, you look, this is what you look like when you accomplish things. It's that cute. But I am feeling really, really good about this. I feel really confident that I'm going to be done with Act 1, though it's taking me longer than I expected. I'm on a roll now, and I think Act 1 will be done, should be done this week, because I already know the break into 2 scene, because that one's already written and not a lot is going to change from that. So I can fill that card out, I know, pretty quickly. So I really just have to do the 6 debate scenes, which is debate slash preparation for, like, going into the new world. So, oh, that just made me realize another what the first scene is. Yeah, okay, okay, so that, I need to write something down real quick. Okay, so I just thought one of the scenes that needs to happen in that debate slash preparation section. So that's all I have left of those 6 scenes, and then, well, of course, I literally have the break into 2, but I already know that one. I'm not gonna really count that and be worried about that. So I'm just so weird because like I feel like I don't even know what to talk about because I can't believe that I actually like am doing this for once. That I have done essentially 10 scenes. We'll say 9. We won't count the prologue. Well, let's count the prologue. Why don't I get credit for that? 10 scenes of 73 then if we're counting that, which is approximately 1/8 of the book is 0 draft. So that's exciting, and each one of these are about 200 to 300 words approximately. Girl, I'm not about to go and count every handwritten word. That sounds horrible, but I'm gonna say they're at least 200 to 300 words each. And so if I did 10, I mean, what is that, like 300? Is that 3,000? I mean, times 8 is only 24. I mean, that's not bad for a 0 draft, right? And I know my rough draft, I'm gonna do 1,000 words for each scene card, so it'll be around 73,000 words, the first draft 1. So yeah, so my plan for this week, for until you see me next Friday, which if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss me next weekend to see more progress. More progress? Who knew that these would be progress or progressive weekends? Anyway, productive. We'll go with productive. So my plan is I need the 6 scenes to work together and they need to make sense in the order that they're going. And that took me a little bit of time with the 6 setup scenes. So my goal is Monday, figure out the 6 scenes, like not filling out the cards, but just literally like when I wrote down like, oh, airport, oh, diner, right? Like where are the 6 scenes and the gist. And then I want to try to do 1 scene card every day after that until the weekend when I want to try to get more done. So when I start my vlog on Friday, I want to have all 6 of the debate scenes. I know what order they are. I'll have the first debate scene on Tuesday, the second on Wednesday, third on Thursday. So I'll have done 3 scene cards. I'll essentially have 9, 10, 11, and 12 hopefully done by the time you see me on Friday, if not more. That's like the minimum. And I'm kind of, in case you haven't heard, I'm kind of killing it. So I'm just really happy, you guys, that I'm being so productive already in 2021. And it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel hard. It didn't feel stressful. I feel like I have figured out some things about myself and how things work and what I need. And I've also figured out a lot of things with my story. Finally, that overall I can say that this has been an extremely productive, successful weekend. So much so that I'm going to call it a night right here at 10 p.m. which, you know, usually I work way into the hours because I put things off and I don't handle things. And I usually go to bed really late on Sunday nights and then I always regret it in the morning. So I'm actually going to go ahead and relieve myself from my writing duties for, she said duty, for the weekend. And I'm going to take my... And I read my 50 pages also for my, oh, that's the other goal, is every day I'm going to read the 50 pages till I finish the book too. So I'll finish it probably, I think, Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. So, and I can prepare for the live stream this Sunday, which I hope I see you guys there. And if not, if you can't make it, make sure you watch the replay. We're going to be talking about writing a young adult and children's book. So you're not going to want to miss that one. But I'm going to go curl up tonight with my, watch over me. Oh, I forgot to mention, we did make the cookies. It didn't turn out great, but the Italian beef we made, chef's kiss, best Chicago style Italian beef ever. It gets better every time we make it. But anyway, I'm going to curl up with this tonight and get some reading done. And I'm going to call it an early night. So you guys, we need to put this one in the books, you know, mark it on the calendar. Laura is on a roll in the new year. So 2021... So far, so good. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed hanging out with me this weekend, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to keep encouraging me to be productive, I almost said progressive. I'm always progressive, but also productive. Then definitely make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you want to make sure to hang out with me next weekend and see how much I can accomplish next weekend, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. And thank you, as always, you guys, for watching. I love you so much. All right, goodbye. Good night. Bye.